Hey there everybody, this is Susan with Pumpkin Hill Stampers. I have a Stamp and Share card to share with you today. This is going to use the Years Specialty Designer foil paper. We're also going to do some heat embossing, and we're going to borrow the words from Half Full, which is not retiring at the end of the year, so you can get this going into the spring. It really can be used for many seasons of cards, so you might want to look at that. So let's go ahead and get started with putting this card together. I'm going to be doing this card at an event in a week or so for a group of moms and daughters who wanted to do some stamping. So I'm going to share it with you as well. And all the details and the video will be on the blog and my emails, so you guys can get the information without worry. So let's go ahead and look at our kit. So we've got Whisper White as our base, because our foil paper, our Designer Series paper, is in white. So we've got some of that. I'm using two different patterns. And then we've got a couple of extra pieces of white that we're going to create embellishments with. And then we're going to dress it up with some gold ribbon and some of our new gold faceted gems. So all like silver and gold, you know, the old song Silver and Gold. So I won't sing anymore, heaven forbid. So let's go ahead and do the stamping part first. I'm going to need my envelope, and I need this little piece of 1 inch that we're going to make our tag out of. So what we're doing today is we're heat embossing. So I'm going to stamp with Versamark ink. So on my little 1 inch strip here, I'm going to ink up my stamp, and I'm going to stamp it in the middle. Okay, and then I'm going to bring my tray in that I've got embossing folder. And now sometimes I can just scoop it up and spread it across. I think I can do that. Oh, maybe we need a little more. So I'm going to open up my gold powder, sprinkle that on. It really doesn't take much, and it goes a long way as far as making lots of different pretty stamps for you. Alright, so I'm dusting off the extra. Alright, we're going to heat emboss that in just a second. Then I'm also going to stamp, this set has a cute holly berry, and I'm just going to put that in the corner of the envelope, and I'm going to heat emboss that as well. So dress up that envelope just a little bit. Alright, so let me move the heat emboss out of the way, close up my ink. So I'm going to bring the heat gun in. It's a little bit loud, so you know, if you want to fast forward through this part, because you probably know how to heat emboss, but basically we're going to turn on the gun. The tip is recessed so that you won't burn. You want to hold it about 1 inch over your paper, and you want to move it back and forth, and as it heats up you'll see it change from a powder to like a liquid gold. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to hold it down so it doesn't move. You see how it's starting to change on the end of the word? So once it starts, then I just move it along to emboss the whole image. And I'm going to move on to my envelope. And once it gets hot, it really goes pretty fast. So I was saying once it gets hot, it goes pretty fast. So you might be able to see that as the white light twinkles on it, that it's now turned to a shiny gold. Okay. Alright, so there's our stamping parts. That was pretty simple for stamping today. Now we're going to create the embellishment pieces. So, I'll close up my embossing powder. I don't want to spill that. Alright, so let's start with the tag. So I'm using the triple banner punch, and I've cut this down to 1 inch, which is the smaller's measure on there, and I'm just going to slide that in and punch. Now it cuts off about 1/2 inch. So when you're thinking about how long does your piece need to be when you want to make a banner, think about 1/2 inch longer than you are going to end up with. Okay, so there's our banner. Then we are going to have a piece of 3x3 Whisper White, and we're using from the Layered Circle Framelits, the scallop circle, and that's going to cut out a scallop circle on our big shot. And then we have a piece of foil paper that I used my stitched framelits on and cut out the circle with that just stitched edge. So it just adds a little detail for that. Okay. The faceted gems will just go on. They're pre-stick. And then we're going to have a gold bow. So I'm going to try to show you how I make these gold bows. So I've started with 7 inches of our gold 1/8 inch ribbon. And I call this the bunny ear bow. So I fold it in half, and then I make 2 loops. And then I crisscross the loops and tie a knot. And then I pull it gently. Now I haven't tightened it yet because now I can adjust my tails. So I adjust the tails, I adjust my loops until it's about the size I want it. Okay, then I take the 2 ends together, bring them together, pinch them between my fingers. Okay, and then I bring in my paper snips and I trim off the ends at the same time. And then I end up with a nice even bow with even tails. So not that hard. So give that one a try. I know some of you are bow challenged, but it's not difficult. It just takes a little practice. Some ribbon is easier than others. This one is pretty easy. It's pretty forgiving. Okay, so let's see. I think we have all our pieces now to actually assemble our card. So let's go ahead and get started. So we've stamped, we've cut out our pieces to make the embellishment on the front, and now we just need to put it together. So I'm going to start by using snail and adhering the Designer Series paper to the front of my card. Okay, so we just want to center this. It's going to step in from the edges about 1/8 of an inch on both sides. So my paper is 1/4 inch smaller than my card. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to attach these 2 cutouts. So I'm just snailing the foil designer paper to the scalloped circle. Now you could pop that up on the dimensionals, but I'm not going to. Mostly because I'm going to be popping up the tag, and then these embellishments have lift to them as well, so I don't want the card to get too thick. Alright, so there's that. Now we're going to take our tag and we're going to put, like I was saying, dimensionals. If you were really worried about the thickness, you could always put it on with snail or glue dots, but I'm going to go ahead and pop this layer up. So, alright. So I'm just putting this on this lower corner of my circle. Okay, now I've got a glue dot, and I'm just going to take my bow and stick it on the glue dot, like a sticker, and peel it off. And I'm just going to put that on the corner of that tag. Okay, so it kind of makes that a finished end on there. Then we've got faceted gems, and I've decided to use 1 big and 1 small. So they actually come in 3 sizes. So if you have your own gems, you can certainly use whichever sizes you prefer. But I'm putting 1 there, and I put another 1 here. Okay? So those are the faceted gems. Now when I cut my 12 by 12 paper, I wanted a piece of 4 by 5 1/4. Well, I can get 2 pieces out of a 4-inch long strip, but that always leaves 1.5 inches. An 1.5 inches is sometimes tricky to use. So what I do when I trim it is I cut that 1.5 inches into 2 3/4 inch strips. And now what I do is I use this as an embellishment on the inside. So I'm just going to bring this, what we might refer to as scrap, and bring it into the inside and just add a little embellishment there. Why not use all that beautiful paper? Okay, so there's our front. Our inside, you can write your message, you could stamp another greeting in there, and our envelope to dress it all up. So that'll be a pretty snazzy Christmas card for someone to receive. Alright, gals, like I said, this is a stamp and share project, which means I'm doing it in classes, but I'm also offering kits to go. So if you want to order a product bundle, which is basically the raw materials from what I showed you at the beginning, you just drop me an email and I'll get you all set up with the kit in the mail, and then you can stamp this card with either the half full set that I used, or you may have other sets that have Merry Christmas or another greeting you want to use for that. This would really make a pretty wintertime birthday card as well. So you really could convert it to other types of cards, not just Merry Christmas. So I hope you enjoyed today's Stamp and Share. And if I don't see you in one of the current events going on, I hope you have a fabulous season. Alright ladies, until next time, happy stamping!